Hey, Dr. Hankins. This week's reading really reminded me that people are built for rhythms and how healthy these help us to be. I am definitely looking forward to a time of retreat, a few days of solitude and silence, rest, and actually listening to God and the Spirit. Sounds so luxurious. um, I'm praying that, God helps me find a time and a place to put this on my schedule. I feel like many of my rhythms have been disrupted since finals last week, then Easter, and just some changes in my work. And so I'm in this kind of transitional period trying to like reestablish. And I think one thing that I'm really becoming aware of doing like this timeline and stuff is how when Barton says coming, undone and considering the areas that maybe they're not ours to fix or to try to resolve. And this is a good thing for me to consider because looking back on trauma and things that have gone on in family, my tendency is to want to like face it, fix it, and move on. And unfortunately, with trauma, we don't always get to move on so easily. And I do feel like I've done a lot of work on healing and processing, and I've come so far. But it's amazing how when we reflect and it comes up, it can just kind of. I look at my life sometimes, and I'm like, wow, how did I live through all that? So uh, I'm need to take some time to just be with it and remember that it's part of who shaped me and has really been instrumental in discovering my passions. And I realized how God has created compassion in me through them. So on top of that, I realized that there's a lot of other areas where it'd be really wise to just let go and let God take over. um, I've mentioned some of my strains and struggles at work, at church, and I did write an email to the pastor last week, and I told him that I am going to need to take a leave of absence. One, I want to go home and be with my family. My dad is not well. He's in Pennsylvania, and I have a lot of family there. I recently lost an uncle, so I want to go home for a few weeks and be with them. And then I got really clear. I'm doing another program, the Emotionally Healthy Leader. It's through my ordination process. And I just realized there's real lack of clarity in my work. I've kind of tended to be like someone that, like, if you ask me to do it, I do it. And I think that's one reason why I'm feeling so chaotic and all over the place. And I'm just spread so thin there. I'm actually wearing four different ministry hats. I'm the only one on the team that's doing that. And everybody else is able to like kind of focus and hone in. And there's many of those ministries I am passionate about. It's just doing them all on top of everything else has just been too much. So I did let the pastor know that I am going to take a leave of absence. So and this is my last year at Fuller. I wanted to there's other things I want to check out too versus church ministry. That's all I've done. So now's the time, right? And so I kind of I had this moment where, God said to me, like, this isn't about punishing you, Shayna, not that you haven't done well. This is about putting you where I need you. And I think that that gave me hope and made me realize, like, hey, I need to get out of the way and let God, work through me. So I'm glad I'm having these understandings so that I'm can resist getting bitter and resentful because I am starting to resent that I don't have time for me, my family, and some of the things that I used to really take a lot of pleasure in. I don't have time to do them anymore. So my prayer really this week was to help me to find space to do this and to plan it and also to just remain in God during this time. So thank you, Dr. Hankins. Thank you for the time to do this and introducing me to this book. It's The Invitation to Retreat. I'm really enjoying it. Have a good day.